Hey guys, Hatsune Miku here. Welcome back to Genshin Impact. Today I will ramble about Left 4 Dead 2, a game so old Minecraft YouTubers are starting to lose interest. Left 4 Dead takes place in the distant future of 2009. A deadly virus named the Green Flu, sponsored by Xbox Game Pass, has turned most people into hyper-aggressive and brain-dead beings. Just picture England during any big football event. You and your group of 3 ragtag survivors are going on a cross-country road trip, trying to join a holiday cruise. Although the real goal of the game is to fuck over your friend by accidentally igniting the gas can he just dropped. In my debug video implied that this is the best co-op shooter ever made, and surprisingly few people get upset about this. Which makes sense, since it is the objective truth. That being said, it's also a Valve game, so it's been relatively abandoned. This joke was written before Valve decided to update TF2 for the first time in like 20 years, so thanks guys, very cool. Ever since Valve has forgotten their child at a gas station somewhere in Utah, there have been many attempts to fill this boomer-sized hole in my heart. And to their credit, some of these companies actually created awesome games, like Deep Rock Galactic, which satisfies my all-consuming craving for the mines. It also lets me roleplay as a short person. Finally, I can experience what it would be like to have enough fucking legroom for once. Vermintide is full of cute, cuddly rats, lets me visit a furry convention from the comfort of my home, and has top-tier character designs. Sigma! Another man has fallen for Elven Pussy! Heretic! I will crush your balls! Finally, Back 4 Blood has... yeah... If you're wondering why I didn't mention Darktide, that's because A, I didn't play it, and B, I prefer to talk about games that are finished. So you, yes, you Michael, may ask, why would I talk about a piece of software that has been released before the invention of the goddamn printing press? And to be honest, I don't really know. Maybe it's nostalgia, or maybe video games really peaked with Left 4 Dead, but there has to be some reason why today, 13 years after its initial release, the game still averages around 20,000 players. So let's stop fucking around and let's talk about the game. There are a couple of different ways to play the game, but let's start where most people will, the campaign. The campaign is best enjoyed with friends, but can also be played through online matchmaking or with AI-controlled bots, although the term AI may be a bit misleading, because these bots are behaving like special needs 4th graders who have been a bit too intimate with the glue bottles. But I do have to admit that there is a considerable overlap between the smartest bots and the dumbest humans.
That's what the mask is!
Before starting a campaign, you also need to choose your difficulty. Higher difficulties not only make the game harder, but also directly increase the chance of you receiving a pipe bomb in the mail. That's because difficulty scales friendly fire damage, and let me just say, there are some members of the Left 4 Dead community that are currently only one stray bullet away from abandoning their mathematics degree, moving into a small cabin in the woods, and writing a book about the dangers of technology. Each campaign consists of 2 to 5 missions, which are played in order, with health, ammo and equipment carried on in between them. For most of these you will have to fight your way through some rural American city that is overrun with British people. Your goal is to reach a safe room, aka this red door. After all of the survivors enter the room, the current mission will complete and the following one will load. During the last mission of a campaign, there is usually a holdout, where you have to survive a certain amount of time or number of enemy waves. Hey, it's way my favorite game mechanic. The safe rooms are also a place where the game gets to subtly tell you about its lore. This is done with the magic of environmental storytelling. It's your birthday, Matteo said. I didn't respond. Are you not excited to be 15? He asked. Reading my book, I uttered, I turned 15 long ago.
That moment when being feels so good, you start crying.
By the way, did I say campaign before? I meant campaigns. There are 14 of them. Of course, talking about all of them would unnecessarily blow the video and bore you to death, so I'm doing it anyway. No mercy. This is the quintessential... Okay, before you click off, to keep all of your fellow ADHD goblins engaged, I'm going to speedrun rating all of these campaigns. No mercy. This is the quintessential Left 4 Dead experience. Really strong start with the apartments and a banger finale on the rooftops. I feel like we could have skipped the sewers. Also, why the fuck does Zoe have 3 hands in the poster? 9 out of 10. Crash Course. One of these shorter campaigns with only 2 pretty forgettable missions. This is not me being mean, I genuinely forgot that this was in the game. 4 out of 10. Death Toll. Ding dong, are you ready for another sewer level? No? Okay, what about a nice chat with the sanest Christian man?
No! Nobody writes for free! Ding dong!
Exodus 17:7. Dead air. Did you know that the safest mode of transportation is commercial air travel with only 1.2 accidents per 1 million flights? The airport is pretty cool, 9 out of 11. Blood Harvest. The Midwest Dream, forests, trains and corn. For me this is like 5 out of 10. The Sacrifice. Foreshadowing is a narrative device in which one of the survivors has to sacrifice themselves during the finale of this campaign. Canonically, that's Bill. For that reason alone, the campaign received 0 out of 10. Last Stand. A community port of an existing survival map. Something Lighthouse.
Fortnite.
7 out of 10. Oh, we halfway there. Whoa. Scribble on a chair. Dead Center. Another staple of Left 4 Dead campaigns. They wanted to make sure you know the game is set in America, so they included a guy blowing up a fuel truck for a 6-pack of coke. 8 out of 10. The Passing. The Passing has this visually amazing map where you travel through a street with different shops and bars. Just kidding, it's sewers again. Did you really think you could escape? Only 3 missions is a bit short, so I rated 5 feet 8 inches. Dark Carnival. Okay, real talk. This is my favorite campaign in the game, just based on setting alone. Theme parks and zombies go together like young children and unsupervised cleaning supplies. This is also the only campaign that contains the gnome. You know what? Fuck it! 10 out of 10. Swamp Fever. Swamps are just Mother Nature's sewers, so you can probably imagine my opinion on this map. Oh, and it also has Mudmen. Man with a mud on them. Mudmen. 4 out of 10. Hard Rain.
Welcome to the rice fields, motherfucker!
Hard Rain is the perfect example of thinking about playing it versus actually playing it. That's because not only does it contain more mentally unstable women than a serial killer's inbox, but it also features not seeing shit and backtracking. My second favorite game mechanic. That sounds like I hate this campaign, but I really don't. 7.8 out of 10, too much water. The Parish. Ah yes, this is exactly how I remember New Orleans. The last mission consists of you trying to cross a bridge.
What a fucking...
7 out of 10. Cold Stream. This is another community-made map. I have absolutely nothing to say about it, so 4 out of 10. And that's it. Now back to the game. A stroll through a rural American town doesn't sound too bad, but there is one problem. There are zombies everywhere. Walking down the street, boom, zombies. Trying to hide in the closet, zombies again. Opening up a box of cereal, guess what? Oops, all zombies. These common infected feel incredibly alive. The way they shuffle around, how they run at you, making these horrible noises, and especially their death animations. To create these, they combined around 100 different motion capture death scenes with physics-driven ragdolls. The results are incredible. You can also encounter uncommon infected, like the riot police, which are immune to any damage from the front and need some heavy backshots to go down. They were also formally cut from German release, because they broke some rules regarding violence against authority figures. I'm glad Germany is taking authority really seriously. And finally, there are special infected. These can majorly disrupt your gameplay with powerful abilities. I strive to keep this video to a manageable length. That means I will suppress the primal urge to create a tier list on how good each special infected would be in bed. Yes, I know, extremely disappointing news. Instead, here's a quick overview of them. Boomer! Wait, this is just Nicocado Avocado. Hunter! Your typical bus station crackhead, including great dental hygiene. Smoker! If you're under 18, please don't smoke. If you're over 25, fuck it, your life is almost over anyway. Spitter! This video is sponsored by Monster Energy. Charger! Participates in ranked, competitive sex, but only queues solo. Witch! Guys, I know what you're thinking, but trust me, don't do it. BPD fucking sucks. Tank! Big steroid man. Jockey! Wait, Germa? Good morning everyone. My name is Dr. Ramaron, and the SCP we are going to be looking at today is SCP-985-J, Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. After a containment breach at the test site, SCP-985-J is roaming the United States, mainly around the desert. If possible, SCP-985-J is to be contained within the Dangerous Organism Lockdown Laboratory, codenamed Dollhouse. While SCP-985-J is generally cooperative, all Foundation personnel are advised to be extremely cautious following Incident 14-M, the meat grinder. Description: SCP-985-J is a humanoid entity, roughly 1.6 meters in height, taking the form of a 30-year-old Caucasian male, also known as Jeremy Albertson. SCP-985-J is suffering from major delusions, most commonly related to a fictional entity called Chad. When interacting with SCP-985-J, it is advised to acknowledge these as a reality. Failing to do so comes at the risk of enraging SCP-985-J. For further possible triggers, see Addendum 1, Hillary Clinton hair, and Addendum 2, Short King. Wait, what was this video about again? Oh yeah, right, Left 4 Dead. What you need to understand is that Left 4 Dead is not a game, it is a social experiment that requires enormous amounts of teamwork from the players. You should always stick to a team, or to put it short, work together or die alone. The main reason why team play is so important are the special infected. When a charger is pounding you, there is nothing you can do except to trust in the power of friendship and guns. Okay, let's address the cat girl in the safe room first. Yeah. The gunplay kinda sucks. This is a game from 2009 and you can definitely feel it. I know I clowned on Back 4 Blood in the intro a bit, but it does guns 1,000 times better than Left 4 Dead. No competition. But we have to work with what we have. You can carry a primary weapon and a sidearm. Weapons can be found at random points throughout the mission. Makes sense, this is America after all.
This is America.
Starting most campaigns, you will have to make a choice. Are you gonna be a virgin SMG user or a Chad shotgun enjoyer? SMGs are known for their high rate of fire, but low damage, causing them to deplete your ammo more rapidly than a dumb mummy character emptying the pockets of a Genshin player. But the shotgun is so bad, you can't even hit targets that are far away. Yes, I don't care. It is true that you can't shoot anything that's even remotely out of melee range, but if my teammate is being dragged away by a smoker, that's a skill issue. Also, it's a shotgun in a video game. Why would you pick anything else? Well, there is one reason. The AK-47. This staple of peaceful negotiations is my favorite gun in the game. As you may know, the AK falls into the category of home defense weapons, for when you need to shoot 30 to 50 feral hogs. Surprisingly, it also works really well on zombies. If you prefer to bonk the enemies up close and personal, you can also choose from a variety of melee weapons. We got British, American,
Home run!
Is this a motherfucking Half-Life reference?
Konnichiwa senpai, please notice me.
Democracy, and many more. The director is the unpaid intern, working overtime to keep the game running. He's not only governing our weapon spawns, but also ammo, health, items and enemies. Interestingly, the director adapts to how the players are doing. If you do badly, the game is more forgiving. But if you go for a speedrunner, the director may send out the big steroid man. At least that's what it's supposed to be like. Personally, I feel like the director likes to kick me when I'm down. All of this may sound kinda complicated, but that doesn't mean that the game is inaccessible to new players. Quite the opposite actually. I think one of its biggest strengths is its sheer simplicity. To demonstrate what I mean, let's take a look at Back 4 Blood for a second. Are you noticing anything? Why? Are there numbers in my shooty zombie game? 70 handling, 80 mobility? What the fuck am I supposed to do with this information? In Left 4 Dead you get the gun and you shoot it. That simplicity is very core to the whole game. As I mentioned before, all you need to know in your first run is get to the safe room and optionally shoot the zombies. But you also shouldn't confuse simplicity with the game being shallow, because by god, you can get very fucking sweaty. One day you learn about crowning, aka insta-killing witches, and suddenly you restart No Mercy 15 times because you want to save 30 seconds of gameplay. Yeah, remember that guy that died from jumping down the apartment and then rage quit the game? That's right, he's not actually trolling, he's a speedrunner. This wouldn't be a Left 4 Dead video if I didn't talk about mods. Mods turn this game from a co-op horde shooter into a CIA torture program. No. Really, look at this and tell me it's not digital waterboarding. Naturally, since this is a Valve game, it also comes with full Steam Workshop support. If you're not aware of the workshop, it's a place where mod makers upload tiny spyware to punish the Guailu. Left 4 Dead 2 has 10,000 entries in the Steam Workshop. That sounds pretty impressive, but there is a catch. The catch being, I lied. It is actually over 50,000 entries. Or is it? Because I have lied yet again. Left 4 Dead 2 has over 120,000 entries in the Steam Workshop. With that many mods, there is probably something for everyone.
Yes, we can.
Modding the game usually goes one of two different routes. On the one side you have full 5-chapter campaigns with impeccable level design as well as meticulously handcrafted skins. And on the other side you have Manlet Nick and the metal pipe meme. I also want to give a special shout out to Deathcraft 2, because I remember how this campaign completely blew my mind when I was younger. What do you mean I can play Minecraft with guns and it runs at more than 10 FPS? God damn! This is just one example of the many incredible custom campaigns. Modders are really pushing the boundaries of this game, which is cool, but it also makes me wish Valve would stop fucking around and make Left 4 Dead 3. Just imagine a new Left 4 Dead set in Europe, featuring a smoker wearing a little beret and a German hunter that never actually shows up in the game because his fucking train is delayed again. Unfortunately, Valve stated that there are no current plans for the game, which sucks. But hey, at least it's not gonna be some monkey's paw situation where Left 4 Dead 3 is coming, but turns out it's another fucking battle royale. Okay, we reached the final topic, and you already know I saved the best for last. Let's talk about Left 4 Dead Versus. This is where the salt levels reach a critical stage. Just clicking on the icon leaves a faint taste of saline in your mouth, like walking on the beach on a windy day or queuing Rainbow Six Siege Ranked.
L excuses, right hand on the Bible, God can strike me down if I'm lying?
That motherfucker's cheating! Take my word!
It is also incredibly fun. I'm not kidding when I say this whole video was just an excuse for me to talk about Versus. If you're not aware, Versus is an asymmetrical multiplayer mode where 2 teams of 4 compete against each other. Technically, you could also play 2v2 or 3v3, but the game fits in the empty slots with bots. Versus works similar to a normal campaign, but with the twist that each team takes turns playing as survivors and special infected. The survivors still want to reach a safe room, getting points depending on how far each member has made it. Meaning sometimes your best option is to run, even if your teammates are gonna be Left 4 Dead. But be careful, because someone that is abandoning their teammates might be Left 4 Dead 2. The infected do not earn any points, so your main goal is to stop the survivors, pin them down and calmly enlighten them about our Lord and Savior, Speedy Egbert. For me, that's the most fun part, because you get to be incredibly toxic to your friends and there's nothing they can do about it. Well, apart from unleashing the curse of Ra on the entire Discord server, but that only happened once or twice. There are so many cool things you can pull off when playing as infected. As a charger, show someone the joy of no rope bungee jumping. When playing Smoker, force a survivor to participate in a Mr. Beast video. Or you can do it like me, get Boomer, completely miss your vomit and then die to 4 damage. Yeah, did I mention I kinda suck at Versus? But honestly, that doesn't really matter. Playing it with friends was some of the most fun I had in gaming. Strong emphasis on the with friends part though, because Versus matchmaking truly is something else. But not only do I suck at Versus, I also always have been a really nostalgic person. Just playing Minecraft Classic is enough to give me an existential breakdown from the combination of pure serotonin and the thought that the passing of time is constant, inevitable and speeding up. Nostalgia. I think that's one of the reasons why I and so many other people still like to play Left 4 Dead. But I also think it is genuinely one of the best games ever made. Man, I remember a couple years ago, we had this big group that would randomly play whenever enough people had time. I knew some of them IRL, but a lot of them were just friends of friends. This was also around the time we moved from Skype to Discord. Yeah, I know who the fuck uses Skype. Back then I set up 3 voice channels, one for the survivors, one for the infected, and one where you could meet in between rounds to scream at each other like a horde of monkeys on cheap stimulants, which looking back wasn't actually that far from the truth. I don't know why we stopped. I think people just moved on to other games. They got older, got jobs, and suddenly nobody has time anymore, which is just how life goes. But I still remember that surge of excitement whenever I realized that we were enough people to play Versus, and I do kinda miss it.